I had always thought of myself as a calm, easygoing person. I never sought drama, never thrived on confrontation, and believed that patience and reason were the best tools for any relationship. My wife, Layla, on the other hand, had a knack for sharp words and playful teasing. Most of the time, it was harmless banter. But one evening, that playful tone took a sinister turn, revealing a betrayal I never expected. It began on an ordinary Friday night. Layla had just returned from a girls' night out, which she had insisted was completely innocent and harmless. I asked her about her evening, casually trying to make conversation. Instead of answering directly, she smirked and said, "Don't be weird about it. Just relax." At first, I laughed. "Weird me?" "Never," I joked, trying to lighten the mood. But there was something in her tone, a flicker of defensiveness that set off a tiny alarm in my mind. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but enough to plant the seed of suspicion. Over the next few days, I noticed little inconsistencies. Texts deleted too quickly, calls she pretended I didn't notice, and moments when her laughter seemed slightly forced. I began paying closer attention, quietly observing without letting her know. What I discovered shattered the image of the marriage I thought I knew. Layla had been cheating. Not just flirting or harmless texting, but a full-blown affair. Messages, secret meetings, late-night rendezvous, all meticulously hidden. I didn't confront her immediately. I wanted to think, plan, and act with precision. I wasn't looking for a petty argument. I wanted a response that would shock everyone, friends, family, and most importantly, her. I decided on quiet revenge. Not loud, not dramatic, but slow, deliberate, and utterly disarming. I began by meticulously documenting her behavior, photos, messages, and little details she thought I hadn't noticed. I didn't reveal anything yet. I simply let the truth accumulate like an invisible storm, gathering power while she continued her careless confidence. The day of the dinner party arrived. Layla had invited a small group of friends to celebrate a recent promotion, completely unaware of the storm about to hit. I prepared myself, dressing in a way that suggested calmness and composure, giving no hint of the plan that had been brewing silently. Guests arrived. Laughter filled the house, and Layla floated through the evening, completely oblivious to what I had discovered. She told jokes, laughed at old stories, and even made subtle digs at me, thinking she could still mock the weird behavior she had accused me of earlier. I smiled, nodded, and played the part of the relaxed husband, letting her words slide off me like water off glass. Then came the moment. I stood, raising a glass to propose a toast. The room quieted, expecting a simple, congratulatory speech. Instead, I paused deliberately, letting the silence stretch, making everyone in the room lean in slightly. "Thank you all for coming tonight," I began, my voice calm but firm. "It's wonderful to celebrate milestones with friends, to share laughter, and to enjoy the company of those we care about. But sometimes celebrations reveal more than just achievements. They reveal truths." Layla's smile faltered. A flicker of confusion crossed her face, but I continued, letting the words sink in. "You see, trust is the foundation of any relationship. Without it, even the happiest moments are built on sand. And trust can be broken in ways that aren't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's quiet, subtle, almost invisible, until it's undeniable." There was a moment of tension in the room. Her friends exchanged glances, sensing the sudden shift in my tone. Layla's face paled slightly, her confidence beginning to crack. "I know," I said, my eyes meeting hers with unwavering calm, "that some people think that deception can go unnoticed. That lies, no matter how intricate, can be hidden behind smiles and charm. But truth has a way of coming to light quietly, inevitably." I didn't need to shout or accuse her directly. I simply let the collected evidence, the subtle, undeniable weight of her actions speak for itself. I began revealing small, irrefutable details, dates she had lied about, late night outings, messages she thought were private. Each revelation was precise, controlled, and devastating in its simplicity. Layla's mouth opened, then closed, as if searching for words that wouldn't come. Her friends shifted uncomfortably, realizing that the playful, confident woman they knew was facing a silent reckoning. She tried to interject, to laugh it off, to claim misunderstanding, but the calm precision of my delivery left no room for excuses. "This isn't about anger," I said softly, letting my words echo in the stunned room. "It's about accountability. It's about recognizing that every choice has consequences. And sometimes those consequences arrive quietly, but powerfully." Her face went pale, a stark contrast to the vibrant persona she had carried just moments before. She stammered, I didn't, I never meant." I raised a hand, signaling that her words were unnecessary. They had nothing to do with intent. What mattered was the truth, the evidence, and the clarity of the moment. The silence that followed was more powerful than any argument. Her quiet panic, her inability to respond, became the ultimate revelation. By the end of the evening, Layla was speechless. Her friends, too, were in shock, not just at the details, but at the calm, deliberate way I had unveiled the truth. There was no screaming, no dramatic confrontation, only the quiet power of revelation. After the guests left, Layla approached me, her voice trembling. I can't believe you knew. I thought I was careful." I looked at her evenly. "You were careful, yes, but I was paying attention. And sometimes quiet observation is more powerful than loud confrontation. You see, revenge doesn't always have to be loud to be effective. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be undeniable." She sat down, tears streaming, finally realizing the full weight of her betrayal and the methodical way I had exposed it. I didn't yell. I didn't demand apologies. I simply let the truth and the quiet shock of her exposure speak for itself. In the days and weeks that followed, our marriage changed. The foundation of trust had been fractured, and while conversations eventually happened, they were measured, cautious, and filled with the weight of accountability. Layla learned that her actions had consequences far beyond what she had imagined, and I realized the power of patience, observation, and deliberate action in the face of betrayal. That night, when everyone had left, I sat quietly, reflecting on what had happened. The revenge had been quiet, controlled, and devastating in its subtlety. It wasn't about public humiliation. It was about clarity, truth, and the undeniable weight of accountability. And most importantly, it left Layla with something she could not ignore: the realization that trust, once broken, is felt in every silent moment, every quiet glance, and every word left unspoken. In the end, I learned something invaluable. True revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it observes. And sometimes it shocks so profoundly that everyone, including the betrayer, can't help but notice.